Yes, people, this is your girl Aleisha Lee and welcome back to another episode of Motivational Lee. On this episode, we discuss Law 33, discover each man's thumbscrew. But before we get into that, make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you are kept up to date each and every time I upload. And without further ado, let's get into this. Everyone has a weakness. Once you discover what those weaknesses are, those would be used to your advantage. Let's use sports for an example. Football. The team will study the other team and find out what their weaknesses are. They will see that they might be a bit weak on the defense, and using that information will then let them know what they need to do. By looking at their weaknesses from the other team, they're able to then strategize and plan how their team is going to beat that team by looking at their weaknesses, looking at what they're great at, and also looking at what they're not so good at, and then using that to their advantage. This law also mentions that you have to pay attention to gestures and unconscious signals. Another thing is, a lot of people will hide their insecurities. So they may be insecure about something, but they're not going to outright say it. There's other signals and things that you can see that will still indicate to you that there might be some sort of weakness there. This law also talks about looking at the unconscious signals that people will give off body language, because not everyone is going to outright say what their weaknesses are, but there may be signals that you pick up on that will let you know that this is a subject for them that they might not be so secure in. This law is basically saying use those things to your advantage in order to get what you want out of the situation. There are a few ways that this law would be applied and some principles that you would need to bear in mind when it comes to this law, such as paying attention to gestures and unconscious signals like we just mentioned. You can tell from someone's body language, not necessarily from what they say, but from their body language as well, that there's certain things that you can pick up on. Find the helpless child, things that may have occurred in the childhood or needs that person may have felt weren't met. You could also use that to your advantage, finding out what those are and then filling in the void, which is another point that this law also states. Another way is feeding on uncontrollable emotions. So if a situation happens with someone and you use that situation to try and get through to that person, knowing that that's a vulnerable moment for them, that is another way to do it. We see this a lot in a lot of movies and films where something happens and then someone comes in at that time to try and fill that need. They know that that person is vulnerable at that moment and they come in, I know what's happened to you, I'm so sorry, and they try and get in that way. These are all things that can be used and can be seen as weaknesses. You need to be mindful and make sure that you're not being a victim to any of these things, and that information that you are given are to people that you trust and people that you know won't use these things against you. That was Law 33, discover each man's thumbscrew. I hope that's given you a brief summary on that law and things to think about when it comes to that. It's not just about what you say, it's about how you present yourself, and sometimes things that you're not even conscious of can also display weaknesses. But you need to make sure that you are confident in yourself and you're building every day. Everyone has insecurities. When I say everyone, I mean every single person has insecurities, no matter how big or small. So don't feel like you're alone in that. But what we're not going to do is let people use those insecurities as tools to manipulate and to make us feel less than. You know, these laws can be applied in positive ways, and it's about looking at how we can do that as well. But also realizing that this is the world that we live in and people will use this to their advantage in not so good ways as well. So it's about knowing and being aware and just doing what you need to do and doing what's good for you. You know, people are going to be applying these laws in each and every way, but as long as you are aware of them, you will know how to maneuver and what to do, what's best for you. In the next video, we will be looking at Law 34. Be royal in your own fashion. Act like a king to be treated like one. But yes, people, that is it for this video. Make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and let everyone know what we've got going on over here. We are so close to hitting 1,000 subscribers, so make sure you share, subscribe, and like. And yeah, let's just keep it going and let everybody know what we've got going on over here. Make sure you have a great week. Stay blessed. And yeah, I will catch you in my next video. Don't know. Boy. People don't know.